Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm finally doing a testing TJ Maxx makeup. I have some really good stuff that we are trying out in this video. I feel like some pretty hyped products and I'm going to put everything to the test and see how it goes. I'll do a wear test as well to see how it lasts and give you updates on these products if I think they are worth purchasing. Of course, these are all discounted at TJ Maxx stores. So I got a pretty good price on these items and I tried to pick stuff that was pretty new in the store that you could mostly still find. Some stuff might be a little bit harder to find, but I tried to kind of keep it, so it could be stuff that you could go out and look for if it is something that you like. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is apply some primer. I am just going to use one of my favorite primers because I'm going to be using a new foundation, and typically when I try a new foundation I like to pair it with something I know that works well, so I know the primer won't affect the foundation. So I'm just going to use my NYX Marshmallow primer. You guys know I've been talking about this like crazy. I'm just loving it. I was really surprised by this one, but it's so nice on the skin and I feel like it makes a great base for your makeup. So we're going to do foundation first to kind of just give a nice base. I just found this one at the store, so you guys should be able to find it too. But it's a Beauty Blender Bounce Liquid Whip Long Wear Foundation. I was not sure what color to do, but I'm going to try the 2.40N, which I still think is a little bit yellow. I feel like I probably need a cool tone one, but we're going to make it work. So what's cool with this foundation, it has the little off and on switch here. And then you're supposed to like take your beauty blender and just like pour it on the beauty blender basically. So I actually don't have an actual beauty blender. I used to be ride or die for the actual beauty blender sponge, but I have found other sponges that I do like just as well. This one's really dirty because I've been using it this week and I need to wash it, but my Ophir sponge has been my favorite. It's seriously the softest, fluffiest sponge. Feels literally like a cloud on the skin. So let me go ahead and let me look up this foundation just to see what the claims are. So with this foundation, it's supposed to be a weightless, buildable, whipped liquid. It can be layered from medium to maximum coverage. It says never dull or greasy. A pro artist velveteen finish that looks picture perfect in real life and on screen. A lot of you guys said you do really like this foundation and a lot of people said they don't. So it's very hit or miss with people. So let's go ahead and I'll put this on my beauty sponge. Now I do have a little bit of tan right now, so that's why I went with this darker shade. So I probably should have flipped my sponge upside down, but I was trying to like mimic the shape that was on the bottle because usually I will use this end of the sponge, but now all my product is like on the top. And since we're using a beauty sponge, it usually shears out the foundation, so I'm probably going to go in with more product. Usually if I want like super full coverage, I will just use a brush because I feel like I'll get more coverage that way. I do like the look that the Beauty Blender gives because it does give a very like airbrush look and it looks very hydrated. So I'm just adding a little bit more on my sponge just to cover up these areas. So that's kind of how it looks with the sponge. For me, I would say this is medium coverage. I want to build it up to full, so I am going to go in with my brush on top of this. But if I am going for just a more natural finish, I would definitely use my sponge, but I want to see the potential for how this builds up. So I'm mostly just going to focus on the bottom half of my face here because that's where I have more like scarring and breakouts. So yeah, we can definitely build it up to that, I would say, pretty full coverage, which I really like. It looks very flawless on the skin, and like I mentioned earlier, I'm impressed by how light it feels on the skin, and it's not super heavy, which sometimes those full coverage foundations like this can be a little heavy or cakey on the skin, and this one feels really nice. So here is a close-up. It looks very flawless, and we still have a little bit of a sheen to the skin, so we do have a little bit of glow. Now to make things even more perfected, I'm going to go in with my Marc Jacobs Accomplice Concealer. This one I purchased full price, but they do have this at TJ Maxx, and this is the most full coverage concealer, so I always use this on my blemishes. So I just have a couple that I really want to cover up. It seriously just blanks everything out. So this one I would definitely recommend if you guys have acne spots that you want to cover and make it look like they do not exist, because this will do it for you. And this one I have the shade Light 26, which is usually my self-tan concealer shade. Now that we have this base down, we're gonna move over to the eyes, and I'm so excited to finally try this palette. You guys know I was so excited to find this one at TJ Maxx. It's the Marc Jacobs Extravagance eyeshadow palette. Oh my gosh, this is stunning. This beautiful gold palette. I cannot wait. So let's get into this. First shade we're gonna go in with is this one called I Have. Oh, that's cute. It has the names. It goes, at last I have found the one, the only true love. So yeah, we're going in with I Have, which is the matte brown in the palette, and I'm gonna place this in. Ooh, that's pigmented. We're gonna place this gently into the crease. I probably should have tapped some of that off because yeah, it's very pigmented. But Marc Jacobs does make really high quality eyeshadows. I'm always sad to see that brand always at TJ Maxx because I'm just worried about them. I don't want them to close down like Becca is, because all their stuff ends up at the stores. I don't know. I just feel like people don't want to pay the high prices for it. But then, I don't know, you still see people buying like Natasha Denona and like Pat McGrath and stuff like that. But Marc Jacobs is kind of struggling, I feel like. But yeah, their quality is amazing. I think there's just a lot of good, cheaper palettes these days. Okay, next, I guess there's only really one, like, I guess two technical matte shades in here. I'm gonna try to use this Love shade in the outer corner and see if that will blend out. It is a shimmer though, so I'm a little bit nervous about how that's gonna look. Sometimes shimmer shadows don't blend out as nicely. This looks like it's gonna be kind of dark. Yeah, this one's not the most blendable color, but it's kind of expected since it's technically not a matte. I wish they would have made this like a dark matte brown instead. I'm just kind of tapping that now in the outer corner, and that seems to work better for shadow placement. Okay, let's try out the shimmers in the palette. I'm trying to decide if I want to do like the green, because that one looks so pretty. Maybe I will do that. So going in with this color here, this green is called The Only. I don't really like it with the brush, so I'm just gonna lay that there. I had a feeling I wouldn't. I'm gonna use my finger instead. Oh yeah, it's definitely a very soft formula. It's definitely one that you'll need to use your finger with. I feel like with these metallics, it just works better when you apply with your finger. It's just the best tool. It kind of like melts it a little bit. The shimmers in this palette are stunning. This is a nice kind of like smoky eye palette. So let me go ahead and put something on the lower lash line. Instead of going on with a shadow there, I'm going to try this liner. It's also from the same collection from Marc Jacobs called Top Brass. So I'm going to actually put that on my lower lash line. I usually go for something a little bit darker under there, but I think this is going to be really pretty. It pairs very nicely with the palette. These are very pigmented and creamy as well. So you could put a little extra under there, and if you want, you can kind of smudge it. So that's kind of the eye look. I really like the smokiness of this palette. I think it's so pretty. The metallics in here are gorgeous, but I am kind of upset about this shade here. I really wish they just did a matte there because they have amazing like matte formula, and I just need to always build up depth. But I mean, it does work. We got the look, but it does have just that one little detail that annoys me just a little bit with that palette. I'm gonna go in with some concealer. This one I have had before, but I did pick up another one at TJ Maxx. The Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion is always there. I have the shade 0.5, which might be a little bit light right now, but this should work well normally. So I'm just gonna put a little bit in my inner corner and outer corner. This is the lightest shade, I believe, in the collection, and I feel like their concealers do run a bit dark, so actually this does look pretty good for the shade. I really do like this formula. It has really nice coverage. I've definitely used this one before, but it's been a while. I'm gonna definitely have to see how it wears compared to some of my favorites today, but it looks really nice under the eyes. I'm gonna do my brows off camera because I don't really buy TJ Maxx brow stuff. I have my tried and true Benefit Precise in my brow that I use all the time, so I'm gonna fill my brows in. And I do have a mascara that we can use though. I did my brows. Let's do mascara. Now this one I have tried before. This is just a little mini one. I got this in a Marc Jacobs kit, so we're just gonna use it today. It's the Velvet Noir mascara. I used to love this one, but I haven't used it for a while. Let's see. Oh, there's kind of a lot of product on the brush, so let me see if I can get some of that off. Otherwise, that's gonna be a mess. Oh yes, I remember. I do really like this one. I feel like Marc Jacobs has really good mascaras as well. Sorry, that's like a hair in my eye. Alright, so for bronzer, I was thinking, I didn't think I had a bronzer in my collection, but then I was like, oh yes, I did buy this full-size Milk Makeup one, the cream bronzer in Baked, so we'll use this today, even though I did kind of set my face already, which usually if I'm going to use a cream, I won't set it right away, and I'll just like have it blend in with my foundation, so hopefully it will still perform okay. So I'm thinking for this, I'm just going to go ahead and draw the lines on my face and blend it out. I'll just do one side at a time just in case it dries fast. But I'm just going to blend it out with my same beauty sponge that I was using. I do have a smaller size of this, as I was mentioning. And what I do like about this cream bronzer in particular is that I feel like it blends out, but it doesn't blend away, which some tend to do that. So I feel like you get pretty good pigmentation with this one. So you guys could see the nice line. This one has a little bit more warmth to it. There is another shade at TJ Maxx too. Man, I can't remember. I think it's Blazed, which is a little bit more cool tone, but it also is a little bit darker. But I do prefer the Baked color for me. So I'm going to take this NARS Orgasm blush with this beautiful packaging. Hopefully this will look okay with our eye look today. It's not something I would usually pick with this type of eye look, but we're just going to use, let's see, this is kind of like a baked formula. I'm going to use this Refer 4 brush with it, and I'm going to start kind of back here with the blush. Oh, very pretty. I have had this Orgasm shade before, but I've always had it in like these like trios and different palettes of NARS, and I do feel like their single products are better quality. So I definitely like this better in this single form. I feel like it's much more pigmented. And it's so pretty. It has a little bit of highlight in with it. So you don't even need highlight with this blush really, because it is very shimmery, but it's such a beautiful color. I am going to go in with a little bit of highlight, even though we are pretty glowy already, but I want to use my Becca Champagne Pop. This is being found again in stores. This is the collector's edition, so it has this beautiful packaging. And then here is the color. I haven't had this highlight in so long. It's something I used to own, but haven't had it in a while. It is so pretty and very, very pigmented. So we only need a little bit on the cheeks. And this color, I feel like it works for most skin tones. Sometimes it can be a little bit dark on fair skin, but I do have a little bit of a tan, so it works fine for me. I have used it before very lightly when I'm like at my palest too, and it works fine. For the lips, we're going to go in with some Becca stuff. So I have here, I'm going to use this combination. So we've been finding a lot more of their lip liners lately. I'm going to use the Becca Ultimate Lip Definer in Low Maintenance. But I just kind of want to outline the lips a little bit. I feel like this could be a nice everyday shade, or a shade I would use with like lip gloss just to outline things and then fill in. Because yeah, it is very light. This is one shade that I found a couple months back. It's not one that I've seen recently, but they have been coming back. Like I picked up this pouty one as well, which is a little more pink, but the lipstick I'm using today is more like warm. So I don't know how this is going to look. Let's see. This is in the shade Dune. Hopefully this will be okay. It is a little bit darker than my lip liner. Okay, I don't mind this color with this lip liner. I feel like these two go very well together. I actually like this color a lot. It's a little bit different for me. Typically I go for more cool tone nudes, but this one's just more peachy, but I think it is very beautiful. As you can see, this lipstick, it just kind of fills in any lip lines. It's a little bit more on the hydrating side, so it's very flattering on the lips as well. Alright, I do want to finish with a setting spray. So I have this one from Smashbox. I haven't had a chance to use it yet. It's the Photo Finish setting spray from them. I'm not sure like what the major difference is with this and like the primer water, but we're gonna try this out. I just kind of want to bring back a little bit of more hydration to the skin. So let's see. It does smell a little bit different than their primer water, so I feel like, oh gosh, It kind of stung my eye. I feel like this one might have alcohol in the formula because that did kind of hurt a little. A lot of setting sprays do use alcohol to kind of dry it down. So this is how everything looks. Really beautiful look. Probably the best my makeup has looked in one of these videos because I feel like we've been seeing a lot better like high quality makeup at TJ Maxx. It used to kind of be like the rejects, and now I feel like they actually have really good makeup. I don't have anything too negative to say right now. I'll definitely wear this makeup for like 5 or 6 hours and come back and let you guys know my final thoughts and everything. But so far, everything looks really nice. Alright guys, I am back. I've had this makeup on about 6 hours now, so I want to kind of show you how everything looks and give you guys my final thoughts on the products. So let's start with the foundation because this was definitely the one I was most curious about. So as you can see, it's pretty oily on me after the 6 hours. More than some other foundations I've tried that are some of my holy grails. So I don't know if I love that about it, how oily it gets, although it is a quick fix just putting powder on. I just don't like to always have to reapply throughout the day. It has held up though. I feel like it's starting to break down on my chin after I ate a bit and a little bit on like my nose, but overall it has held up well on the skin. I don't think it looks cakey or it doesn't enhance texture on me. I think the finish is overall really nice for being a fuller coverage foundation. So I feel like my only gripe with it is the oiliness, so that's not too bad. I wouldn't say this is like a top favorite foundation for me, but I'm definitely going to keep it in my collection and use it, you know, here and there. But I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's great. So just kind of an okay one, which for 12 bucks, sure, I'll take it. I've kind of already talked about the eye palette a bit, how I do think it is beautiful. The eye look that we did came out really nice, beautiful smoky look, and I just wish that that dark brown was a matte in the palette. So this palette I feel like is worth picking up for the shimmers. You could create a nice natural look. I've been having some issues with my under eyes though throughout the day, as you guys can see. The Marc Jacobs mascara actually I feel like is smudging. I keep getting black underneath my eyes, so unfortunately I am going to go ahead and declutter that one because I'm not going to deal with smudging. It's already happened like 3 times today. I've had to clean it up, so it keeps doing that, so it's kind of hard for me to judge the concealer based on what that is doing. But I do feel like the concealer is there and it has stayed. It's just not helped by this constant black smudging I'm getting underneath my eyes. So I'm definitely not a fan of the mascara actually, even though I really love how it looked on the lashes. I just don't want to deal with the smudging. The concealer seems to be okay, but definitely needs more testing. I really love the Milk Makeup Baked Bronzer. I thought that was such a good cream bronzer. I feel like our blush and bronzer has faded a little bit, especially the blush I feel like isn't showing up as much, but I do think it was a really nice one. I just wish it had a little bit more staying power. The Orgasm from NARS. I feel like our bronzer stayed well, but the blush I feel like is fading a bit. And as far as the highlighter goes, I still see that the Becca Champagne Pop is still going strong. The lip was really nice as well, the Becca one. I wasn't expecting to like that color as much as I did. Of course it has faded because it is more of a moisturizing lipstick, so I had to wipe it off when I ate my lunch. So I do like it though overall. I think it is a really nice color. I love the formula. Overall, we do have some nice products here. I would say probably my top favorites of the day is definitely the Milk Makeup Bronzer, the Champagne Pop Highlight, and the Becca Lipstick and Lip Liner. Those were both really good. And then I have just some that were just okay, like the foundation, the concealer, the blush. As far as those go, those are just okay. And the only really failed product seems to be the mascara for today. So that is going to be it for my testing TJ Maxx and makeup video. I hope this was helpful for you in seeing what you want to pick up from TJ Maxx and see if you can find these goodies. I will go ahead and let you go. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.